Quite a few of them. Of course, Darnell Meyer, Central Regional, the Shore's only defending state champion. He seems pretty much a lock at 188. He's just manhandled the opposition so far. I think there's going to be a couple good ones. The match at 135 between Brick Memorial's Peter Bonicia and Wall's Bob Baladionas is going to be very good. Both are very similar wrestlers in a style, you know, leg-in wrestlers, tilt wrestlers, pretty good on their feet. And people may not be aware that Bobby Baladionas did wrestle for Brick Memorial Startford in varsity as a sophomore.
Right, 2 years ago. Then he moved to Wall Township.
Exactly.
Right? What about Bobby Martin?
I tell you, Bobby Martin came in. He hadn't even been contested all year, and he hasn't looked that sharp here tonight. I don't know what it is, whether people maybe have his number. One thing that has gone against him is he's wrestling people who are seeing him for a second time, Ed,
right.
And they seem to know exactly what he can do. He is a defensive wrestler, but he somehow managed to get through, and I make him one of the favorites in this. He's very talented. He can beat you in a lot of ways.
Key matchup tonight, I think one of the better matches we'll see at 141. Mike DiLeo from Toms River North and Hector Torres from Cedar Ridge.
Victor's very tough.
Excuse me, Victor.
Yeah,
right?
Victor's very tough. He's a senior. He's a Middlesex County champion. He's more known for the cradle than anything else. That's what got him into the semifinals. He pinned a man with the cradle, or collected the winning points on the cradle. But this afternoon, he showed a little bit more of his repertoire. He out-tilted Joey Roselli at Brick Memorial in that match and looked real good. And Mike DiLeo came right out, and he really stuck Simon Scoville Long Branch in the semis. Has looked very sharp.
All right, 115, Tony Mangione, one of the returning champions. How's it look for Tony?
He's looked very sharp, too, Ed. He's wrestling Joe DiBiase, a little spark plug, a ball of fire when he goes out there. And Joey has been really hot as a pistol in the tournament. Deck John Fagan of Middletown South, who's a tall, lanky wrestler like Tony Mangione. It's going to be very interesting to see how Tony handles that fire, because he is a little bit longer and cradle happy, so he could present a lot of problems for DiBiase.
Okay, Joe, thanks a lot. And I know you got an important announcement about the Regional Coach of the Year coming up soon.
Yes, that'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Okay, we thank Joe Zedalis of the Asbury Park Press for being our pre-match guest. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, now the national anthem sung by Ron Brooks of the Brick Township Wrestling Team.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose voice bright and bright soared through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's great blast, the bumper singing came through to the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
That young man's quite a story, Ed Sarluca. Ron Brooks, who sang the anthem at the districts last week at Toms River East, and the crowd just fell in love with his rendition of the anthem.
All right, we said it last week that the tournament director, George Rayo, should sign him up immediately, and I guess he did. He listened to us, and I guess he did, and he did another outstanding job.
That young man, of course, wrestles on the Brick team. I've never seen him wrestle, but of course he's handicapped and really has a lot of courage.
Okay, the introduction of the 101 pounders for tonight's contest: John Profaci and Keith Cousins, two boys that are out of the immediate Shore Conference. Cousins from Madison Central and Profaci from Monroe.
There you see, is it Sam Cole? Is that how you said it?
Right, Sam
of Long Branch, and Working, Madison Central be his opponent.
This should be a good one right here. Joe DiBiase and Tony Mangione.
Here he comes from Tom's of East. Mangione, our district champ.
And also a defending regional champ.
Here's our rematch, Ed, from the districts.
Right. We called this one last week. We said these two could get together again. And they're back again, Crawford and Kirsh.
Kirsh right on the screen right now from Brick Memorial. And Kirsh from Brick. It's a battle of Bricktown. And Kirsh was #1 seed at the districts, and Crawford knocked them off, and now they're going to go again. That's Frank Meto of Howell on the screen.
Right, 129-pounder. He'll go against Long Branch's Tyrone Davis. Long Branch sending 3 wrestlers to the final. Along with Brick Memorial, they lead the schools as far as wrestlers in the final.
This is Bob Baladionas of Wall High School. And here's one of our district champs.
Pete Bonicia from Brick Memorial.
At 141, a senior from Monroe, record of 20-1.
This, to me, is the most interesting matchup of the night, Ken. Mike DeLeo from Toms River North with 1 loss, and undefeated 23-0 Victor Torres from Cedar Ridge.
There's Torres.
Power against power there.
Now we got another local wrestler coming up at 148.
Right, Toms River North's Chuck Tice wrestled very well in the tournament. He's fought his way in from the outside bracket, and he'll go against another wrestler who has fought his way to the finals through the outside bracket, John Glutkow from Neptune.
158, we have, there you see Kevin Oliver of Lakewood, our district champ last week.
And he'll go against undefeated Bob Lynch from Manalapan. A surprise in the 170-pound weight class, Brad Parks has fought his way to the finals from the outside bracket, and he goes up against a big heavy favorite, Bobby Martin from Brick Memorial.
We interviewed Bob Martin last week. There you see Darnell Myers on the screen from Central Regional, our only defending state champion.
He'll go against Mitch Turp from Manalapan. Manalapan has a very strong team in the upper weight classes, and they've sent 4 or 5 boys into the semis in those last 4 or 5 weight classes.
There's Jimmy Jordan of Cedar Ridge, heavyweight.
Upset, well, it wasn't really an upset. He is the higher seed, but he beat Timmy Ryu this afternoon. And there's our district champ from District 24, Gordon Nelson from Monsignor Donovan.
Now, Region 6 is made up, of course, of our district in Ocean County, District 24, and the other district, I'm not sure the number.
21, 22, and 23.
3
right.
districts from Monmouth County.
Right.
So that's how we get this far. And, of course, the top 3 finishers here go on to Princeton University to start off the final round.
Right, exactly. That starts off Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday, March 6th, with the preliminaries, in which all of the state wrestlers that have finished 2 and 3 will wrestle. The winners will have off for about 2 weeks, Ken. They won't come back until Friday, the 15th of March, due to, I think it's a tennis tournament at Jadwin Gym.
In past years, we have had like a 1-week layover, but this is going to be the longest layover between the opening round and the finals that we've ever had at Jadwin. So let me mention the crew tonight. We have our director, Mike Dursky, once again working with us, and working under Mike on the camera, Joe Adalia on the main camera, Cliff Adams on the handheld camera, and Mary Beth Duffy also working on the camera crew tonight. And Roy Nielsen is our production assistant. Mike Moran is our chief engineer here at Brick Memorial High School. Beautiful facility. And we thank George Rayo, director of athletics here at Brick, for the hospitality. And also Jim Rochford, who is co-director of the tournament, works with George on this. And of course, Jim Rochford is Director of Athletics at Crosstown and Brick Township High School. Here we go, 101, Ed.
Okay, Keith Cousins from Madison Central in at 24-2, the number 2 seeded wrestler in the 101 category, versus Monroe's John Profaci, who comes in 24-3. The records of these finalists, Ken, are unbelievable.
This is the cream of the crop from the Jersey Shore area in high school wrestling. And our officials, some familiar faces. Ron Grigoletto is in charge of this match. He used to work the districts with us down at Toms River East, and he is the athletic director at Wall High School. There you see Ron on your screen right there. I'm working with him, a familiar face to you, Ed, since you're over at Toms River High School East.
Right, one of our better guidance counselors over at Toms River East, Tony Griffa. He's the assistant referee in this 101-pound weight class. Also working Harry Whitley and Ed Glassheim are the other 2 officials.
There's the first takedown of the evening.
Keith Cousins. Defense now with Profaci up on top with a takedown.
So it's 2-0. Profaci of Monroe Township in the purple. It's going to be hard to distinguish on your screen, purple and blue, but
yellow headband. Profaci's got the yellow headband. Madison Central, of course, has the excellent program up in Middlesex County, and they did win their district up there.
This is the second year for Region 6 to be held here at Brick Memorial. Prior to that, our wrestlers used to take the ride down to Cherry Hill East High School.
Right, where Region 7 is. By the way, we did hear about the finalists there. I think it's Bruce Hay from was defeated this afternoon, and Robbie Connors did win and is getting ready for his final bout tonight in the 188-pound weight class. So we could have a regional winner down in Cherry Hill tonight.
Bruce Hay, a standout from Manchester High School. And I had heard from Conover
Gaskin, right?
Well, I was talking to Donovan Brown of Brick Memorial, and he told me he had heard he got beat. And of course, Rob Connor, his only loss all year was what, 2 points to
9-7, Darnell Myers. Darnell's only non-pin of the year, by the way.
Rob, of course, the son of the athletic director at Jackson High School, Don Connor.
Okay, Profaci in control here, 2-0 at the end of the first period. Profaci getting into the tournament, Ken, upset number 4th seeded Gary, well, actually in the outer bracket, he beat Kyle Barnett from Raritan on Wednesday night, and then on Friday in the quarterfinals beat Gary Uriyama from Shore, and at the same time, John Gagliano was upsetting top seeded Pat Wall from Toms River East, and then Profaci beat Gagliano in the semis this afternoon. As a matter of fact, he pinned him in 5 minutes and 1 second. So that's how he got to the finals.
And it's still 2-0, Profaci.
Cousins still in control. Cousins got a hold of that arm, and Profaci just can't get free.
In the consolation, just a short while ago, Angel Martinez of Monsignor Donovan took 3rd place with a 6-3 decision over John Gagliano of Howell. So he will go to Princeton with the 2 gentlemen you're watching right now.
All right, that 3rd place is important this year. It's the first time it's ever been done. 3rd place runner-ups will go to Princeton. Cousins still in control, potentially dangerous hold there, and Ron Grigoletto, referee, stops the bout.
Don Musselman unable to be with us tonight, and he is up at Harvard University. So we will, of course, looking ahead to Princeton. You talk about Darnell Myers, the best chance, and of course he's trying to do an unusual feat and move down in weight.
Right.
After winning a heavyweight last year. Mangione certainly looked very good and could have a shot at winning it all. And last year, Myers broke the drought for Ocean County wrestlers. We'd gone quite a long time without a winner.
Yeah, I've gone I did a little research during the weekend and tried to find out some of the tougher wrestlers and some of the defending state champions and where they lie in the weight classes, just to give our viewers a little idea of who some of our shore area wrestlers have to beat in order to win a state title. And there are some good ones, and as we go through, you'll see.
Still 2-0. There's 32 seconds left in the second period. 101 pounds, our first match of the finals. Profaci of Monroe Township has that 2-point advantage.
By the way, these two met in the finals of the District 21 last week, with Cousins taking a 10-4 decision. So this one's a little bit closer here. Profaci with the 2-0 lead. Near back points there. Madison Central coach Kenny Scott thought there should have been some back points there, but he didn't get any.
5 seconds. There's the end of the second period, and it's going to remain 2-0 going into the final. We had a heck of a bout in the consolations, Ed. Heavyweight went overtime with our local athlete.
Right, Timmy Ryu and Dan McInnes from Monmouth Regional, two shore wrestlers, had a great bout. It was 2-1 in overtime for McInnes, with a reversal right near the end of that overtime, Matt, after being tied up at 1 going for regulation time. Okay, there's the reversal for Cousins, and he ties it up at 2-2. Well, if our regional finals are anything like our district finals, we're going to be in for a long, tough, hard night of wrestling.
We had the most competitive finals I can ever remember last week at Tom's River East. A lot. Of course, some people hold the theory that that doesn't bode well for Princeton because we don't have the dominating wrestlers. Darnell Myers and Bob Martin were the only ones that really, I guess, dominated. Right. Brick Memorial probably has the largest seating capacity of any gym in Ocean County, and you look around, you see some empty seats, but we still have a fine crowd here tonight. What would you say, Ed? It's now 3-2 in favor of Madison Central's Cousins.
Cousins, right?
What would you say?
Profaci with the rear. No, Cousins got a hold of that leg, so Cousins still in control. Profaci's got to free that leg in order to get his reversal. He's trying. There's a stalemate called by referee Grigoletto.
33 seconds left in this match. Capacity of this gym, I believe, is around 3,000, Ed.
Crowds have been great. The smallest crowd was for the semis this afternoon. But other than that, it's been near capacity just about every night.
Dave Solt comes on your screen, the trainer. There's a shot of the story here on the scoreboard.
Cousins looked like he had the wind knocked out of him.
Dave Solt, of course, is the trainer at Toms River High School East for the Raiders. And he worked the districts last week in his home gym, and he's over here tonight working again. So Dave's been a busy trainer the last 2 weeks. Solt is in the
there's the Monroe
shirt
coach,
right there in the center.
Jim Kushner talking to Profaci. You saw a picture of him before we cut away to Cousins. Looks like he had the wind knocked out of him. He's just doing some heavy breathing down there. They're not really attending to anything. Dave's got him up. Of course, the wrestlers get 2 minutes injury time. And if they go any longer than that, of course, they have to default. That's all except for blood. Any blood, there is no injury time.
We had a couple of bloody noses last week, but actually for the whole tournament, pretty injury-free.
Injury-free, right. Dave was over here before we went on the air, and he said it's been relatively quiet, a couple injuries here and there. There were a couple of defaults yesterday in the quarterfinal rounds, but they were wrestlers who had been injured previously and tried to make a go at it. Most notably, although he didn't default, but he was at, I would say, maybe 50-60%, was Augie Shamati from Point Burrow. He tried to give it a go, but just didn't have enough, and was beaten in the quarterfinals last night.
Now here's the final 30 seconds. Still 3-2. Cousins of Madison Central in the lead. And Cousins with a...
There's Profaci. Nah, Cousins just a little bit too strong.
10 seconds. Down to 3 seconds. And there it is. So we start off with a real close one. 3-2. Keith Cousins of Madison Central.
John Profaci a little upset, but he's got nothing to be embarrassed about.
So Keith Cousins is our first champion here in the regionals.
I have a feeling we'll hear a lot about John Profaci. He's only a freshman, Ken, whereas Cousins was 2 years older, being a junior.
Now we go to 108, Adam Dworkin of Madison Central. So we start off with 2 Madison Central wrestlers here. 19-4 record, and who do we have as his opponent?
Sam Cole from Long Branch, another sensational freshman in the Shore, 26-1.
He's regarded as the best freshman at the Shore, isn't he?
Well, Pat Wall may dispute that, because Pat Wall is in the 101-pounder, although tonight Sam takes that honor as being the top freshman wrestler in the tournament here, because Pat Wall was upset. Now
Tony Griffith moves up, takes over as the head official in this match. Who's backing him? I'm not familiar with this gentleman.
Yeah,
working
that's
behind him.
Ed Glassheim.
Do you have any idea where he's from?
Middlesex County, Ken. So we have 3 Shore officials, 1 from Middlesex, which is about even out because most of the wrestlers do come from the Shore. Monroe and Cedar Ridge being 2 of the schools outside of the Shore area. Cole working on 18 in a row for Long Branch. Last lost in the top of the East tournament to a kid from Dover High School, Wayne Stevenson. He lost 6-3. Other than that, it's been all wins.
Long Branch dominated their district last weekend. They had 6 district champions, I believe. And
yes,
of course, their program over the years with the Scove family, the foremost name in Long Branch wrestling over the years, they've just been very, very strong over their program over the years.
Cole wrestles predominantly up in Monmouth County, but he did beat one of more familiar names around here, Brick Memorial's Dan Pulsiver. As a matter of fact, he beat him 3 times, Ken, so fans would be familiar with that name.
There you see the coach's good close-up of the corner.
It's Chuck Rattan from Long Branch that you just saw.
The Long Branch Green Wave.
Most people feel that Long Branch was the 3rd best team in the Shore this year, behind East and Brick Memorial, whatever way you want to put them to. There's 2. Finally, the takedown goes to Cole.
That came with 30 seconds to go in the period. First points.
£108-pound weight class in the state has a returning state champion, Dave Boncher from Phillipsburg. He's got a couple losses this year when he was wrestling up a couple of weight classes, but now he's down to 108, and he's going to be one of the top wrestlers in the 108-pound weight class in the state.
And in the first period, 2-0 is the score. Well, you mentioned Boncher of Phillipsburg. One of his losses was the Easton's Jack Kuvo, already a 2-time state champion in Pennsylvania and rated an All-American in high school wrestling. So Boncher wrestles some tough opponents.
Oh, yeah, Phillipsburg wrestles a tough New Jersey schedule as well as a tough Pennsylvania schedule up there on the state liners.
Their 2 losses this year came to Highland Regional, which beat Toms River East in the state sectionals, and is now #1 in the state, and Easton, Pennsylvania, #2 in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay, Dworkin in control now as the offensive wrestler, starting in the top position. Cole ahead 2-0. Cole beat Tom's River South's Ron Laycock in the semifinals 6-2 in a pretty tough match, while Dworkin had a very tight match with Lou Schofield from Pinelands. In fact, it went overtime. It was 0-0 after regulation, and he won a 4-2 decision in overtime.
And by the way, Schofield won the third place match tonight over Laycock. So Pinelands winning over Tom's River South. Schofield 4-2 decision. His record now 22-3. Laycock, who had a great year for John DeMarco, finishes up 19-4.
Still Dworkin in control. He's trying to get some back points here. 1 minute to go in period number 2. Cole.
.40 seconds.
Still in control, Dworkin. Cole could get that leg. Dworkin's got a hold of that, of Cole's right leg. There's the reversal. Nice job by Cole. And he's going to pick up some back points here too, Ken. So he's going to take a 5. No, he picked up 2. Only 6-0 lead.
7 seconds to go. There's the end of the second period. So there you see Rutan, the head coach of the Wave.
Cole in control, 6-0.
So his freshman in command right now.
He'll start up top this period. Picture of the crowd as the camera pans around. Focuses in on Sam Cole, freshman wrestler from Long Branch. Cole's got that, had that tight waist. And Cousins going for the 1 escape. Tony's got it. He's got to get that arm free. There's the 1. Okay. Dworkin got the 1 now.
He's on the scoreboard.
6-1. With 1:10 to go in period number 3.
See my engineer standing here, Mike Moran. I should mention that the lighting in this gymnasium is excellent, and makes for our camera crew is happy to work here. Makes their job a little easier.
Okay, Cole with the reversal makes it 8-1. Trying to get that cradle in, and he's got it. Dworkin's got a hold of that Cole's leg there. If he could sprawl out of that leg.
We're down at 20 seconds to go now.
And there's, no, not quite. Still vertical. 6 seconds to go. Sam Cole, 108-pound winner by an 8-1 score.
End of our second match. And I believe we have to take a timeout. And we'll come back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
For 101. 101 tonight. After we get the first two matches out of the way, we start the awards in between each match. This is for the first match of the night. We have the top three finishers down on the stand.
Angel Martinez, number 3.
Of
John
Monsignor
Profaci
Donovan.
from Monroe, number 2.
There you see the awards. There you see Donovan's Martinez in the blue. They're waiting to get all three wrestlers together down there.
Our announcer made a little mistake there. He started announcing the 108-pound weight class.
So it'll be on top stand, on the top level, as they do in the Olympics. Our first place finisher, Keith Cousins, Madison Central. Profaci on the left, and Martinez on the right from Monsignor Donovan. It's a nice award to have the three kids
Yeah,
on
the
stand
brackets,
there.
the medals, each gets a medal, and of course the champion gets the bracket of his weight class.
That's the bracket sheet you see him holding there, that gold-colored piece of paper there. It has a complete tournament on there in his weight class.
Okay, 115-pounders now. Tony Mangione from the Raiders of Toms River East at 23-1, the junior returning regional champion. He won at 101 pounds last year. In on a leg, but DiBiase's quick now. Tony's going to have his hands full today. He's a little fire plug, DiBiase. Tony, I think, the better wrestler by far, but DiBiase's a little fire plug, and he's going to have to change his style a little bit tonight.
So we saw a Madison Central wrestler in the first two matches, and now we see two matches in a row with a Long Branch wrestler.
DiBiase comes in at 25-2, so it's a combined 48-3 record by these two wrestlers. He's in on a single leg, DiBiase, but Mangione counters that. He's still got a hold of that leg. There's two for Mangione as they go up the mat. A close call, but Glassheim, Ed Glassheim gives it to him. He's in control, head referee now with Harry Whitley, the assistant referee.
Yeah, Harry Whitley worked the districts last week over at Toms River East, as he has been doing for every year it's been at East. That's about 6 years.
There's a caution given to DiBiase, the bottom man. He started a little bit too early here. As most of our viewers know, the bottom man must be set before the top man comes on top, and the referee will sets him and then hits his whistle, and DiBiase started a little bit early there, therefore he gets a caution. Second caution gives the other wrestler a point.
I think we should mention Warren Reid, the coach of East in the corner there.
Right,
was
won a big award.
Got an award as he did last week.
Right, Region 6 Wrestling Coach of the Year to go along with his District 24 Coach of the Year honor last week. So
that would be voted by his fellow coaches here tonight?
Yes. There's the reversal for DiBiase, and he's in on the cradle.
8 seconds, 2-2.
But he has to give it up to maintain control. So it's a 2-2 score at the end of one period.
There it is. Here you see some of the crowd getting behind their favorites here at Brick Memorial High School. There you see Rutan, who is coaching 2 matches in a row here from Long Branch. And we're still got people coming in. Second period.
Okay, DiBiase in control now. Starts in the top position. DiBiase, number 2 seed in this weight class. Mangione, the top seed. Mangione going for the escape, and he did get it. Sometimes these wrestlers go right behind the coaches here, Ken, and it's difficult to see, but we'll pick it up on the monitor.
We are located in the corner here at Brick Memorial. We are
Mangione looked like he was
end.
cut on there. Looks like DiBiase came up quick.
There you see Warren Reid, who is, we just talked about, the coach of the year here in Region 6, and Brent Davis, his assistant, next to him.
I guess Tony's gonna go. He drew a little blood there, but not that serious.
In describing Mangione, what would you say his best attribute is?
Well, he's got an excellent cradle. He's both an offense and a defensive wrestler. He's very strong for 115 pounds. He knows what he's doing. He's been here before, so he's got the experience. And there's no substitute for experience. Like we mentioned, he's a district champion this year and a region champion last year. DiBiase, East did meet Long Branch. There's DiBiase for the takedown, yes. On the edge of the mat, he gave it to him, so DiBiase takes a 4-3 lead with 49 seconds left in period 2. Like I mentioned, DiBiase and were scheduled to meet, but DiBiase was hurt. And Mangione wrestled someone else in the 15-pound weight class. DiBiase came back the following week against Brick Memorial, wrestled up a weight class, and got beat by Scotty Kirsh. So that's one of his 2 losses came to Scott Kirsh from Brick Memorial.
He looks really pumped up right now, and now has a 1-point lead over Mangione.
He's got that cradle on, but Mangione breaks the cradle.
20 seconds to go, second period.
DiBiase's working the edge of the mat here, and they're off. 11 seconds.
DiBiase gets up, he's stretching his right leg a little bit. I don't know whether he got a cramp, he's trying to walk it off.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp, Ken. One thing I know about Mangione is that he's in shape. He could go a solid 6 minutes here, and that could be to work to his advantage in the period number 3 here.
There's a shot of Warren Reid, the head man who's done a fantastic job with the East program after being an assistant under John DeMarco over at Toms River High School South. And of course, Warren wrestled at Oklahoma University, a power in college wrestling. There's a good shot of Mangione, one of our best from Ocean County.
They're working on DiBiase's knee, Ken. As I mentioned before, he did have a leg injury, a knee injury earlier in the season, and that did cause him to miss the Mangione bout when the two schools wrestled each other. And Doc Solt was working on that knee. He's got a knee brace on it. I think they loosened it up a little bit. Who took third place earlier, Ken, in the consolation?
In the consolation, just a moment.
That's the end of 2.
End of 2, 4-3. We had at 115 John Fagan, Middletown South, squeaking by Dave Lang of Manalapan 2-0. And Fagan of Middletown South is now 19-4-1, and Lang 8-2.
Mangione in control now to begin the third period. He needs some back points here. DiBiase going for the escape. They're both standing. Mangione breaks him down. DiBiase, picks up the reversal. Mangione's in trouble now, 6-3. As we mentioned, DiBiase's very strong fire plug type. Very strong upper body for 115 pounds.
Mangione had one of the 2 major decisions last week in the district finals. His came over Jeff Gauthier of Toms River South, 11-2. Both of our majors last week were 11-2 scores. Kevin Oliver, who you'll see coming up at 158 tonight of Lakewood, had the other major decision, and he beat Linus Barons of Lacey. So, as we said, most of the matches last week were very, very close.
DiBiase in control here. Mangione having a tough go of it on the bottom.
Well, it's under a minute. Mangione's going to have to
He's got
rally
anything
here.
left. He's got to rally right now.
Tries to get up.
DiBiase, he reaches back now. There. It's a nice move by Mangione, but DiBiase still in control. There it is. There's the 2 for Mangione.
Reversal.
That makes it 6-5.
24 seconds. Mangione down by a point. 21 seconds now. Good match.
He may have to let him go now. 21 seconds. He may have to let him go, Ken, and hope for the takedown and send it into overtime. There's a caution on the bottom. That's a point.
Ties it up.
Unbelievable. As we mentioned, there's the second caution, and that'll tie it up.
We may go overtime here.
Well,
there's Rutan. He's not happy.
That'll change the strategy now. Tony's just got to hold on and hope that he is in a little bit better shape than DiBiase.
6-6, 21 seconds to go.
Knowing Mangione, though, he's going to go for it here.
10 seconds. Tied up.
Now
4 seconds.
We're going to go OT.
All right, here we go. Our first overtime match of the finals. And
DiBiase upset.
Pounded the mat. He is very unhappy. See how this affects him.
Well, it cost him the regional championship possibly there, Ken. He had it won 6-5, and the penalty point gave Mangione the tie.
So there you see Warren Reid going over the strategy, and Rutan still a little unhappy. He's talking to the official about that point that was awarded against his wrestler.
There's a good shot at DiBiase now.
So we'll see how DiBiase reacts to that as we go into the overtime.
And there's Tony Mangione.
You're watching Clear Television, Cable Channel 8. This is the Region 6 Wrestling Finals from Brick Memorial High School. The 3 top finishers go on the beautiful Princeton University Jadwin Gym starting Wednesday night on the final leg to a state championship, the dream of every high school wrestler.
Okay, overtime periods now, 1-1-1. They'll start on their feet for 1, and then they'll be down for the second and third periods.
They shake hands, and here we go.
Mangione's got to feel that he's got a new life here.
Let's see if Tony can take advantage of it.
Came back from a 6-3 score to tie it up at 6 and send it into overtime. Tony going for that takedown, and he picks it up. Nice move.
So Tony jumps out in front, 2-0 here in the overtime.
I'd like to mention this is the only wrestler Tom Zedalis has in the finals tonight. So Tony's doing it for the Raiders.
13 seconds to go. Warren Reid up off the bench. Brent Davis in the corner there. He wrestles right along with the wrestler, Brent Davis. You see him making he's all over the chair there with the moves.
Right. He mirrors the wrestler. Mangione control, going for the cradle. 3 seconds left. That'll end period number 1 with Mangione up 2-0.
Explain to the viewers on the overtime period, Sid.
Right, 1-1-1. Okay, first one they start on their feet, and then they flip the disc again, and this time it lands red, so Mangione will have the choice, and he chooses the up position, and then of course DiBiase, if it goes into period 3, will be up to start period 3.
I don't know how our camera guys do it, but they always find the good-looking girls here. Mike Dursky, my director, says they're trained to be able to do that.
Well, there's enough of them here tonight.
We got a nice crowd here, and it's been kind of quiet so far, these close matches, but it's going to liven up.
DiBiase going for the escape. Mangione breaks him down.
47 seconds left, second period of the overtime.
Mangione's lone loss came in the state tournament to Gino Jim Morelli from Highlands Regional by a 1-0 score. So
that was in the Group
4 South
sectional.
Jersey. Right.
About 2 weeks ago.
We mentioned one of DiBiase's losses was to Scotty Kirsh at 121 pounds. Earlier in the year, he beat him 9-2, and his other loss was to Paulsboro's Dean Duca by a 4-3 score. So both wrestlers have had outstanding seasons.
Paulsboro, a state power, only a Group 1 school in South Jersey. They've had quite a program, winning streaks in the dual matches.
Stalemate there called, so 2-0 Mangione up top.
This is the third of 12 matches tonight.
It's been all Mangione in the overtime period.
Now we get down to conditioning, Ed.
Right, that's where I mentioned before. I know Tony could go 6 minutes, and now he's going to have to go 9 minutes, and he looks in complete control here.
End of 2. I'd be the final overtime period.
DiBiase, like Mangione now, has got to find a little bit something extra. Mangione found it at the end of regulation time, and DiBiase's got to find it now. He's got to think about a little strategy here because he is in a top position, and he's got to get some back points here. He's got to break him down to the mat and then go from there. Good base by Mangione. He stands and reverses, going for the 1. DiBiase still in control. There's the 1. They're neutral now. So that makes it 3-0 Mangione.
30 seconds.
And there's the 2.
So Tony pulling away here in the overtime.
It's like Mangione's going to win his second regional title as a junior. Six seconds left. And Mangione's going to do it for the Raiders. Oh, no back points there. 5-0 overtime victory.
So congratulations to Tony Mangione of Toms River East. He does it. Gets a regional championship.
You have to realize how important it is to win tonight, Ken. I mean, both wrestlers go to the States, but DiBiase's now got to come back and wrestle Wednesday night, whereas Mangione could take a good 2 weeks off. That means a lot of eating in between. 108 awards.
All right, here we go to the award stand for the 108 awards. They're calling them out. The PA announcer here tonight is Len Ludovico of Brick Memorial High School. He has a son that's a running back for the Mustangs in football here at Brick Memorial. On the stand, you want to read them off, Ed?
Lou Sofield from Pinelands, number 3. Adam Dworkin from Madison Central, number 2. And this year's champion, Sam Cole from Long Branch.
There you
Receiving
see
his medal.
Sofield, our local wrestler from Pinelands, on the right in the gold warm-up jacket. Took third place.
And this should be a good one, Ken. 122 rematch of last week's final.
Battle of Bricktown.
All right. Scott Kirsh from Brick Memorial, the number, well, he actually lost last week, so he fought his way in from the outside bracket, and against top-seeded Scott Crawford from Bricktown. Kirsh at 23-2, and Crawford at 23-2.
You know, maybe we can get Mangione on while we're doing the telecast, sit in for a minute or two. We did that last year during the regionals. And maybe Mike Moran can grab Tony Mangione, putting on his
sweats right there.
And we'll get him over here. Maybe he can comment as we go
Super
along.
idea, right.
we'll let you people watch this match, and we can get some comments from.
Okay, Scott Kirsh and Crawford can have met twice this year already, and they've split. Okay, Crawford lost to Kirsh in the Neptune finals at the Neptune Classic 7-3, then came back last week and beat Kirsh 5-4. Okay, so Crawford owns a 5-4 victory over Kirsh, and Kirsh owns a 7-3 victory over Crawford. Last week's match, if you remember, Ken, Crawford received a cut over the eye, and it bothered him a little this week. He received 4 stitches, and also had been a while since he received a tetanus shot, as we found out through Dave Solt, and received a tetanus shot early in the week, and his arm ballooned up, his right arm. He got an extreme reaction to it, and he wasn't sure he was going to be able to go Friday night. But of course he did make it and has fought his way into the finals here.
Third place tonight went to Madison Central's Jim McCauley, 9-4 decision over Chuck Urban of Raritan High School. McCauley 23-3 in a year, and Urban finished 17-10.
Kirsh was a runner-up last year in the regions, losing to Tony Mangione at 101. And he's up 3 weight classes now to 22 this year.
Under a minute.
Scotty Kirsch's other loss came to Scott Tiedermer from Delaware Valley, another fine wrestling school. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why we wrestle so well down in the shore here. All these schools now have gone out and got some dual meets against the state's best competition. That only makes him tougher come tournament time. You
mentioned Tiedermer of Delaware Valley. I'm wondering if he could be the son of a Tiedermer I went to school with at Phillipsburg. He was a great football player, because Delaware Valley is just below Phillipsburg.
Exactly.
And they're big rivals in wrestling. It could be his son.
There's Tony Caravella, the head coach from Brick Memorial, up in the corner of your screen, along with assistant coach Dennis DeAndrea, ex-Manalapan coach. Manalapan has brought their program back a lot. They have some fine upper weight class wrestlers in the tournament here, and they have a couple in the finals that you'll be seeing later on. Okay, 0-0 with 10 seconds left in period number 1.
We put in a request to Mangione. He was talking to Warren Reid, and I believe he headed to the locker room for a minute, so give him a chance to.
Yeah, we might get him after the awards. Yeah, after the award ceremony.
I'm sure he might stop over.
There's the end of period number 1, 0-0.
Harry Whitley, the official work in this one with the beard. Harry was a great coach for many years at Wall High School, and we always get to work with Harry over at the District 24 at Toms River East every year. He's got a lot of good stories about wrestling over the years. Interesting to listen to him.
Kirsh starts up top this period. There's a caution on the bottom man, Scotty Crawford. Similar to what happened They're complaining about something from the stands, Ken, like a flash camera or something that went off.
Distracting the wrestlers.
Yes, they did give the caution, okay? I know the brick coaches try to say that the caution, the quick start by Crawford had to do with a flash in the stands, a camera flash.
By the way, since we're in Bricktown, we got the Battle of Brick here. I just had a reunion with a couple of ex-Brick athletes, Ed.
Down in Duke University.
Just down at Duke this week, and Kevin Billerman from Brick, who was the all-time career basketball scorer at St. Joseph and Toms River until Jimmy Dolan came around and broke his records. I saw Kevin, who was a former Duke basketball captain, and I also saw George Gowden, who was an all-shore football and baseball star at Brick. And he was football captain at Duke. Got together with the two of them. They made their home down in Durham. Went to the Duke-Clemson game. We had a good time. Bucky Waters, who does the commentary on NBC, worked the LSU-Kentucky game, got me the tickets. He still works at Duke. Former Duke coach.
Neutral position now, so Crawford escapes for a 1-0 lead.
I mentioned George Gowden, a former teammate of George's on the Brick football team, is the head coach of the Brick wrestling program over in the far corner.
Don Blair.
Don Blair in his first year as head coach of the Dragons. Good football player at Brick too, as well as a wrestler.
Assistant over there, Donovan Brown.
Donovan Brown, a great offensive lineman on the Brick football program. He's gone down to see George Gowden. He went to Elon College, not far from Duke University. He said about 30 miles away. Donovan played down there at the Elon.
Both wrestlers wrestling very cautiously. They know what each other can do, and they're very cautious tonight. I thought we'd see a little bit more excitement out of these two.
Battle of the Scots, two outstanding wrestlers, same first name from the two schools here in Bricktown. And right now, Kirsh looking for revenge over Crawford after losing in the finals to him last week in the districts.
Seconds left in period number 2. Still 1-0 Crawford. Crawford shooting in and Kirsh backing off the mat.
9 seconds left in the period of number 2.
Many matches as that we've seen with Brick Memorial wrestlers, of course, all the dual meets and everything. I noticed that Tony Caravella, the head coach, always has a pad and pencil out in the corner. Dennis DeAndrea, the assistant coach, does most of the yelling, and Tony's taking notes. Obviously must review them with the wrestlers following the matches or the next day in practice. But it's a different concept.
All right, we're in the final period. It's 1-0. Another tight match between these two outstanding wrestlers.
Kirsh going for the escape, and I think he got it. He's got to give him the 1. There it is. That'll tie it up at 1. Crawford guess he's got a bloody nose.
That's going to be the first one. If it is, it's going to be the first one of the finals.
Dave Soul working on it in the corner there. There you see a picture of Kirsh, though. The injury occurred to Crawford in the other. Raider graduate.
Mary Beth, Tom's over North, and Cliff came to us from North Jersey.
Okay, we're back to wrestling now. 1:06 left in period number 3, still 1-1. Crawford shoots in, and Kirsh sprawls back. Still very defensive-minded, this match. Both wrestlers defense. Crawford shoots in again. Kirsh tries to counter. Kirsh is in on the leg, but they work the edge of the mat. Brick Memorial likes to do that.
Get the impression these guys are very, very evenly matched.
Oh, exactly, and they respect each other to the utmost and just wrestling very defensively tonight.
35 seconds to go in the match, 1-1.
They're wrestling this one like it's the state finals. You see a lot of wrestling like this in the state finals. Very cautious.
Nobody wants
defensive.
to make the big mistake.
The big mistake.
End up being pinned. 20 seconds.
Crawford is the aggressor. He does shoot in. Kirsh has made no attempt to shoot, and Kirsh just sprawls back, works the edge of the mat, went in trouble, and then slides off the end.
12 seconds. There it is.
And we're going to go OT.
We're going to have our second overtime match. Out of 4 that we've had, this is the second one to go into overtime. So gives you an idea what we were talking about over in the districts last week, of how evenly matched it was. And now we're getting the same thing here in the regional tournament.
Again, to review, these two went at it last week, and it was a 5-4 victory for Crawford. Both wrestlers getting fanned off now by their respective coaches and assistant coaches. There's a good shot of Scotty Crawford. Looks like a fighter, Ken. He's got a cut underneath the eye. He's got a cut above the eye. Sustained last week, the cut underneath. Sustained in period number 2. There's a shot of Timmy Ryu's father right there in the front row as we just pan around.
While we have this break, let me mention we have coming up for you the end of this week, we'll have the Ocean County CYO. There's Don Bernstein, the Lacey Lions head coach.
His wrestler Linus Burns went out earlier in the tournament, so he's just relaxing tonight, enjoying the wrestling.
All right, here we go. The final, I should say the second period, 1 minute of action here in overtime.
First period.
I'm sorry, first period. I'll finish what I was going to say about what's coming up in a moment.
I don't think so. Crawford ran off the mat there, and Kirsh went in for the takedown, but didn't get it. They were off the mat. He's got to finish that now. Crawford's in on a single leg, and Kirsh cross faces, and they work the edge of the mat again.
18 seconds. Say 19, actually.
There's the end of the first overtime period.
So we had that happen last week. We had a referee's criteria.
Well, that was a criteria with back points, if you remember. Yeah, there was definite criteria there with one wrestler having, Pat Wall having the back points. I think he's got 2. There's 2 back points. Yes.
So we got 31 seconds.
Escape. I think he's going to give the 1 escape, so it'll be 2-1. It should be 2-1, Kirsh.
Let's wait and see. They haven't put it up on the board yet.
There it is.
2-1 Kirsh.
Kirsh got 2 back points on a tilt, and then Crawford going for the reversal. Didn't quite get it, but did get the escape. So Harry Whitley talked it over with Ron Grigoletto and awarded him the 1. So it's 2-1 in favor of Kirsh.
17 seconds. There you see DeAndre on the left and Caravella, the head coach, on the right at Brook Memorial.
Now we're in that same situation we were in last week with Pat Wall in the 101 finals, because if it should end up in a tie now and no more back points were awarded, Kirsh would win on criteria because he did receive 2 back points, and that's the first criteria in overtime or in regulation.
End of the second overtime period. So Kirsh goes into the final minute of wrestling with a 1-point lead over Crawford.
And Kirsh will be down now, so he's got to get back points here. He can't afford to let him go and then hope for the takedown, because he would still lose on the criteria if it would end up 3-3. That takes care of that.
2-2. What a match.
No, it's 4-1 it should be, Ken.
Now it's
4-1 Kirsh. Kirsh got the reversal.
Okay.
So it's 4-1 Kirsh.
Scoreboard lost me there for a minute. He was going all around the board.
Kirsh was down and got the quick reversal at the beginning of that period.
They got the correct score up there now. There you see it.
Scotty's got to pull it off now. Scotty Crawford, I should say. He's got to come from 3 points down now.
35 seconds.
Kirsh is just going to hang on right now.
.22 seconds.
Kirsh in control here, 4-1. Crawford, I don't think we mentioned it, did go on last year and finished 4th in the state. He was a 1984 regional champion, one of our defending champions tonight.
10 seconds.
There's the 1 point for the escape, so it makes it 4-2. But even if he takes him down, Ken, Kirsh will win on the criteria. No,
that's it.
He did not give it to him. It'll end 4-2.
Scott Kirsh, Brick Memorial, wins it 4-2 overtime. So Kirsh gets his revenge.
In the center of the mat. They both respected each other. I'm sure they're friends and they probably work out together during these tournament times here.
There you see Crawford, tough way to lose. And now we're going to have the award ceremony for 115 pounds. Third place finisher goes up first. John Fagan, Middletown South on the right. The runner-up on the left in the white is Joe DiBiase of Long Branch. And there you see Tony Mangione in the black and silver of Toms River East, the district regional champ and the district champ in 1985. Now we go to 129. We got another Long Branch wrestler, Ed.
All right, their third of the night. Tyrone Davis comes in. The senior comes in at 23-1.
And there on your screen is his opponent,
Frank Meto from Howell, at 23-1.
So identical records,
right,
for these two wrestlers.
Davis the top seed and Meto the number 3 seed. He upset. Well, I shouldn't say he upset. He did. He was the higher seed, but in most eyes, he did. It was an upset when he beat Augie Shamati from Point Borough in the quarterfinals, 15-9. Then went on to beat Rob Joyner from Neptune in the semis, 4-2 in a very close match this afternoon.
Did we mention third place, Ed?
Get Mangione. Third place went to John Fiorentino from Toms River South.
Over Neptune's Rob Joyner?
Right, 11-6 decision. So John will be going on to the States.
Joyner of Neptune finished 20-6, and that's for Fiorentino. He's 20 wins and 5 defeats, I believe, going up to Princeton. One of the defeats was at the hands of Mangione for Fiorentino.
Okay, John Fiorentino, we just mentioned, he was another defending champion. He won last year at 122 when he beat Augie Shamati in the finals. So it's been tough luck for Shamati in the regionals, although he's had some outstanding records during his career. And of course, he is a senior and he'll be graduating this year. But Fiorentino was also knocked out of his championship.
30 seconds. First period.
Tyrone Davis was a runner-up last year at the same weight class in which, I don't know if you remember, Ken, but Art Laborte did quite a number on him in the finals last year by a very large score.
8 seconds to go here at the end of the period. I want to mention what we got coming up this week on Channel 8.
Davis up 2-0 at the end of period number 1.
Okay, Friday night we'll be over at Ocean County College to bring you the CYO championship game of the tournament in Ocean County in basketball under the direction of Jim Courtney. And we'll also be unveiling our dream team for 1984-85 in high school basketball. So we'll have the high school all-stars there to receive their awards from Channel 8. Now, we have the handheld.
Right, Tony
Tony
Mangione just came over.
Has just joined us. And Tony, congratulations on winning the regional championship to go with your district championship. How about commenting on your opponent tonight?
Well, he's real tough, and I just tried to work real hard to win.
Yeah, you had to come back, Tone. Down 6-3 with into the last period, third period. You had to come back and tie it up. Of course, you got a little break there by the cautions.
I just went for it. I didn't want to lose.
I know you didn't want to lose. We sort of figured that if it went into overtime, you were gonna come out on top just by being in a little bit better shape. All that running pays off, huh?
It sure does.
Tony, what do you think about your chances up at Princeton? I know you concentrate on one step at a time, but do you have any idea who's you're going to be running into from other areas?
Yeah, there's a lot of tough guys. There's one kid from Quantick. I think he's pinned everybody he's wrestled. And the kid I lost is pretty tough. And there's another kid, Kelly, who's beat him twice, so dude, that's probably the top competition.
Talking about the kid you lost to last year?
No, this year.
Gino Gimarelli
You
from
won
Highlands.
one defeat this year.
Yeah, my one, yeah.
How did he beat you? Was it a decision?
Yeah, it was a he got a one-point escape.
1-0. I saw that match, Ken, and honestly, I think Tony won it there. He had a takedown right at the edge of the mat there, and most people there that were in attendance that night thought that he did win. But unfortunately, it went against them 1-0.
We've got a 2-0 match right here. Tony, how do you get ready now? You'll start, the wrestlers go up Wednesday night. You most likely will not wrestle Wednesday night. You're going to get a high seed.
Right, he will not wrestle, right.
Will you go up and watch Wednesday
Yeah, I'll
night?
definitely go out and watch and see how some of the other short competition does.
Now, if you wrestle, when will you wrestle? Most likely
Friday night, right?
Will you go up early Friday, or go, how do you work that?
What, when I'm ready to wrestle?
Yeah, when you go up to Princeton, will you go up early in the day?
Yeah, we go up about an hour early, you know, so we can relax, settle in.
Make weight.
Yeah, and, you know, just take it easy. So you don't have to rush everything and get all nervous.
Having been there last year, Tony, you think that's going to be a big advantage to you this year?
Definitely. Last year, you know, I was scared because there were so many people there.
It's an awesome sight.
It definitely is.
Do we have togetherness from our region when we go up there? The guys root for each other?
You know, I don't know if you saw, but I was working out with Scott Kirsh and everything, you know. He's helping me, I was helping him. You know, we go up there as a group, I think.
What do you think of this battle between Kirsh and Crawford? They've really put on some close battles.
Yeah, you know, short competition, I think, is definitely getting a lot tougher than it was. You know, it's starting to level off with the other places.
Okay, we got 14 seconds to go in this one right here in the second period.
Tony, what about your weight now? You're going to have 2 weeks off. You really got to watch it, right?
Yeah, I definitely got to watch it, you know. I've been making it pretty good lately, my coach, you know. In the beginning, I wasn't making it too good, and I felt kind of drained. But now I'm doing it pretty much the way my coach wants me to do it.
You haven't had any trouble lately, but what I was referring to was the 2-week layover now.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to make weight for 2 weeks, and that's been a rarity, right? Because you usually have to make it every couple of days.
Yeah, the most I've not gone making weight is probably a week.
All right. Coach Reid will take care of that.
He sure will.
We mentioned that you were the only Raider wrestler still alive, and you know, hopefully you're going to carry it right through into Princeton.
Yeah, I want to be my coach's first state champ.
That sounds good.
Tony, before I let you go, are you getting a lot of pressure from colleges right now? Are they leaving you alone?
I haven't gotten anything.
Not yet?
No.
I think you're going to be hearing from some schools.
Hope so.
And of course, if you go up there and win a state championship, here you see Tony Mangione on the left of your screen, our region champion from Toms River High School East. Get close up with Tony, and we certainly hope you can go all the way. And even if you don't, it's been a great wrestling career for you over at High School East. And no matter what you do up there, we want to congratulate you on coming in here tonight and really doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping over. Okay, Tony Mangione, congratulations. Tom's a Reese. And,
Tony is sort of part of our phys ed staff, Ken.
Is he?
He usually hangs out in the phys ed office most of the day. I shouldn't say most of the day. Of course, he goes to classes, but
I hope so.
any free time he has, he's down there in the phys ed office, and he's one of the guys down there.
Let's go back to this match here. You've been watching it. It's 3-2 now.
Yeah, it's 3-2 Davis. Davis was in control 3-0 going into the third period, and Menta just got a reversal to make it 3-2. So there's 50 seconds left, and there's the escape for Davis, which Meta had to do. Now he's got to hope to take him down and send it into overtime. Meta seeded third in his weight class, and Tyrone Davis, like we mentioned, the top seed.
Doug Bauer is the coach of Howell, and he was a great wrestler at Wall High School, and then he was at Point Pleasant Beach as head coach. And here he's got a wrestler on the left of your screen in the final.
You know that Davis is a tough wrestler, Ken, because 2 of his losses have come to Pete Bonicia from Brick Memorial. So up at 135 when Davis was wrestling up there. And his other loss, and I should say one of his ties, was to Kelly Conklin in a dual meet. He tied Kelly.
Doug Bauer crossed the way. Has a beard now, something new I didn't see before. Eight seconds to go in this match, 4-2.
Menta needs a takedown. Tyrone Davis just holding him off, and he's going to win it 4-2.
All right, that's it. So there you see the winner. Tyrone Davis, a Long Branch, and
Long Branch's second champion tonight, Ken. Sam Cole, 108, now Davis.
And I believe I'm to take a break here. Sometimes we lose track when these matches drag on. Okay, my director says we'll take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. For the 122-pound class, and our third place finisher is Jim McCauley.
I know who that is, Ken, before he gets started. That's Scotty Kirsch's mom right there.
Mrs. Kirsh of Brick Memorial, Scotty Kirsh. All right, we just have the award ceremony going on right now as we start this next match, and recapping at 122. The awards went to Jim McCauley, Madison Central, third place, and of course Scott Crawford, Brick, second place, and Scott Kirsh, Brick Memorial, the regional champion. Now we go to 135, and Bob Baladionas of Wall, 21-3, draws a real tough one.
Pete Bonicia, and there's the 2 points for Bonicia, right at the edge of the mat. He looks pumped up tonight. We have an ironic twist to this match, Ken. We have one wrestler from Brick Memorial who was at Southern last year, and we have Valziola, who transferred from Brick Memorial to Wall 2 years ago.
Maybe Bonicia wearing his old uniform.
Right.
Third place in this weight class tonight.
1 point escape to Valziola, so that makes it 2-1 Bonicia.
Was Regis Armstead of Freehold Borough, who defeated Doug Card of give me the school on Doug Card.
Middletown South.
Middletown South. And the score was 11-5 for third place tonight. And Armstead 18-2. Card finishes up 11-5.
Bonicia in on a single leg, goes to a double and takes him down for the 2.
Bonicia had to come from behind last week, didn't he, in that district final?
Yes, went into overtime with Kelly Conklin and won it in overtime.
Conklin of Tom's of East,
who, by the way, was knocked out by Valziotis by a tough 5-4 decision last night, Ken. Tough match for Kelly Conklin. Tough way to end his career at East.
Gentleman standing over to our right here, I had coffee with prior to the finals, is Joe Brown. I hadn't seen him in many years. He was a great athlete at Lakewood High School. His son was one of our Channel 8 players of the game for Lakewood High School recently.
Oh, defensive tackle, right?
And,
yeah,
yep.
Right, tough.
And he has Joe Sr. has a twin brother, John Brown, who was a great basketball player at Lakewood, played on my summer league teams. John, I understand, is here tonight down the other end. Very well-known athletes in Lakewood. Very nice people.
Bonicia going for the tilt. No, not enough. And Valziotis comes out of it for the escape, so that makes it 4-2 Bonicia.
5 seconds. End of the period. I mentioned the CYO Championship will be seen on Channel 8. I didn't tell you when it would be seen, but I believe it'll be next Saturday evening at 8 o'clock. And again, to remind you, we'll have the top 10 players from high school basketball receiving their awards as part of that telecast over at Ocean County College at halftime. So hope you'll be with us for the awards from Channel 8. There you see Dennis DeAndrea and Tony Caravella, of course, was a great wrestler at Brick High School. He's on the right wearing the vest.
Yeah, they're working on Bonicia's nose. Now that you mentioned that we haven't had many nosebleeds, we've had one per match now.
Yep. Caravella and Danny McCullough were great names in Brick wrestling, and Caravella went on to wrestle college, and he came to Brick High School. I believe he succeeded Bill Henderson, or was there somebody in between them? I don't remember. But he's done a great job, not only while he was at Brick and Brick Memorial.
A nice shot of Baladionas from Wall. Bonicia is a two-time district champion, District 24, last year with Southern, this year with Brick Memorial. Last year finished fourth in Region 6 up here. So he's had a little experience. Heavy name in this weight class in the state, Ken. Carl Monaco from Clifton, a defending state champion. So Bonicia's got his work cut out if he should go on.
There's
1 point escape. Yep, that'll make it 5-2.
Monaco name stands out in my mind. There must be a family
His
of
brother,
Monacos,
yeah, his brother was also a two-time state champion, so he's trying to duplicate that feat.
Clifton Mustangs.
Right. Baladionas has had a great year, like we mentioned before, with only 3 losses. One of those losses was to Augie Shamati by a 4-3 score, and another one was to Tyrone Davis, who just won the 29-pound championship in the regions. He lost to Tyrone 17-15. That must have been a great match.
.115 left in the second period. 5-2 was the score. You come to one of these kind of tournaments, you know, a big event of the year, and you see so many people from around the area involved in sports all here watching. It's really kind of a reunion to get together with all these people.
Spent most of the week at the head table over there, right next to Mike Bonaventure, the new head football coach at Brick Memorial. We were talking football most of the week.
Yeah, congratulations to Mike being appointed recently as the new head coach of the Brick Memorial Mustangs. He was the freshman coach, right?
Yes, he was, yes, and also coaches baseball.
And I was talking to Donovan Brown, the assistant coach. He says, my friend Steve Geralman will be coming back after a year's absence as assistant coach of the Brick Memorial football program. His son is one of the backs on the football team. Steve went to Phillipsburg High a couple of years behind me.
20 seconds left. 5-2 Bonicia.
Twelve seconds.
Bonicia's had a pretty easy time getting here to the finals, Ken. He pinned Randy Van Horn in the quarters and beat Doug Card from Middletown South 13-2 in the semis, so he's had a pretty easy time. Baladionas, though, has had to work a little bit tougher. 5-4 victory over Conklin and a 7-2 victory over Armstead. They're working on Bonicia's nose again. There's Baladionas.
Gonna see if we can get Scotty Kirsh over here for a couple of comments. I sent Donovan Brown down to look for him. I thought I saw him down in the corner there. Since he had so many great matchups with Crawford. Be interesting to hear his comments on those matches. Clear Television Cable Channel 8, Tom's River, bringing you the action here tonight of the Regional 6 Wrestling Tournament. We got a very good one coming up, the one Ed likes, coming up next, that you talked about on the pre-match show with Joe Zedalis. And that, of course, is, want to mention those two gentlemen?
Yeah,
it's Victor
Torres and Mike DiLeo coming up.
DiLeo, one of our local products from Tom's River North, Mike Baldi's program at North.
Mike's pretty excited, too, about those two wrestlers. They both had outstanding tournaments. Also saw Skip Claxton here today and Danny Zarnewski, the trainer and the athletic director. They were up this afternoon and they're back here tonight. Bonicia's still in control with 1 minute and 14 seconds left. There's the one escape. That'll make it 5-3 Bonicia. Now Baladionas needs the takedown.
.101 left.
Another close one, Ken.
There's Bonicia.
Having a little difficulty breathing probably with that nosebleed. Bonicia only a junior. He'll be back again next year. Baladionas, a senior. We mentioned the records, Ken. I jotted down a few stats here. Wrestlers in the finals.
That lady taking some pictures there. I hope it doesn't have a flash on there. We had a little problem earlier. A little distraction going on.
Wrestlers in the finals. 537 wins and only 51 losses. That's 90% winning percentage.
Pretty darn
you can't
good.
beat that.
Well, looks like Bonicia's going to win this. He's got to hold on here for 17 seconds. Avoid a takedown. It could send it into overtime. 9 seconds.
Circling. When you circle, you can't get hit for stalling. And there it is. 5-3 victory.
So, Brick Memorial gets a champion at 135 pounds. Pete Bonicia.
That's their second champion of the night, to go with Scotty Kirsh.
Now the awards coming up for 129. John Fiorentino, one of our local products, gets up on the stand for third place from Tom's River South. Frank Meto will be the second place finisher from Howell's Rebels. Tyrone Davis of Long Branch, Green Wave. There you see Fiorentino of Tom's River South on the right with a towel around his neck. And Long Branch's Davis will get in the center there. Now here's the match that Ed Sarluca has been waiting for after Ed's been through this whole tournament.
Right, this should be a good one.
Mike DiLeo of the Mariners up north, 20 wins and 1 defeat.
Right, that lone loss was to Paul Mahler by a criteria decision in a dual meet, and he avenged that last week in the district semifinals.
Mahler from Central Regional.
By beating Mahler, and Torres is undefeated at 23-0. At the beginning of the week, I really didn't know too much about Torres. DiLeo goes for the takedown, lifts him up, very strong, up on his feet, takes him down for the 2-point advantage right now. As I was saying, I didn't really know too much about Torres, but I was sitting next to the newspaper writer from the local paper up there, the Hometown News, and he was filling me in on Torres. Very strong, senior, has not had too much trouble this year up in Middlesex County.
Mike Baldi, the coach in the corner of DiLeo. He's sitting right next to our cameraman, Cliff Adams. Mike succeeded John Nemitz, a very successful coach of many years at Old Toms River High School,
right,
and then over at Toms River High School North. Mike Baldi was his assistant. And here he's got a wrestler going for a regional title right here in DiLeo. DiLeo
in on the cradle. Trying to turn Torres. And he does it. Nice move. Torres just a little bit too strong, but he's going to pick up some back points here. At least 2. There it is.
There it is. That's 2. 30 seconds, 4-0.
Going to be very hard to pin a kid with the strength of Torres. But he's piling up those points. Last week, DiLeo beat Joe Roselli from Brick Memorial in the finals by a close 5-4 score.
I had mentioned during the dual meet between Brick Memorial and Tom's of East earlier this season on Channel 8, I was wondering if Roselli was the brother of the great baseball pitcher
Yes,
at Brick High School, Tom Roselli.
Right.
I found out for sure down at Duke because George Gowden asked me right away, how did Roselli do?
Right.
Because Tom Roselli and George Gowden were very close friends and still are from those great Brick baseball teams. So this is the younger brother. You area baseball fans might remember the pitcher for Brick, Jim Rochford, who's working this tournament. The co-director was the coach of those Brick teams. Tom Roselli was a very good pitcher. This is his younger brother. There you see DiLeo, who's had a great year for Mike Baldi.
Joe, by the way, unfortunately lost in a consolation match to Simon Scove from Long Branch by a 5-1 score. So Joe finished 4th in this year's regional. And as a senior, that'll be his career. He's the only key wrestler that Brick Memorial loses this year. They're going to be tough next year.
So Simon Scove, 3rd place finisher in this weight class with his win over Roselli. Simon Scove, 23-1 on the year. That Scove family, just amazing. Right? What did I say wrong?
I think he's 19.
Had the wrong record?
Yeah, 20-3 he is.
Yeah, 20 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie. I said it quickly. It sounded like I said 23 wins.
I know I shouldn't correct you, Ken.
I never say that right. I should say 20 victories, 3 defeats,
Yeah,
and
tough.
1 tie.
It's tough,
When you
right.
run them together, it sounds like I'm saying 23 victories.
Right.
5-0.
DiLeo in control here.
How many Scoves have wrestled for Long Branch?
Whew.
6?
1 for each apostle. That's how he named them.
Wow.
Another Scove will be heading to Princeton.
They got a couple of them wrestling for Ohio State University. They're all over the country.
DiLeo in on the ankle to single leg. Nice takedown for the 2.
7-0.
DiLeo wrestling an excellent match. Still in on that leg, but Torres gets out for the 1. So he gets up on the board with his first point. DiLeo, by the way, pinned Simon Scove in the semis in 3 minutes and 55 seconds. He's in on the cradle for 2. Breaks him down to the mat, gives it up, but gets the 2. Makes it 9-1 in favor of DiLeo.
So we go in the final period.
9-1, Mike DiLeo.
Ken Turp and Ed Sarluca bringing you the action, and also working with us, we have Mike Dursky, our director, Joe Adalia, Cliff Adams, and Mary Beth Duffy on the cameras, Roy Nilsson, our production assistant, and Mike Moran, our chief engineer. That's the gang tonight on this production here at Region 6 finals.
He's out for
Memorial.
one.
9-2.
9-2. DeLeo doing a nice job on his feet, so I know he feels comfortable with that. And that's what I'm talking about. He's in on his single leg again. Torres counters it though.
Baldi's got another wrestler coming up in the next match, so 2 North wrestlers going back to back. Chuck Tice on deck.
Okay, there's the 2 for Torres now. So that makes it a little tighter, 9-4, but with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in period number 3, DeLeo's still in pretty good shape here. He's just got to be careful of Torres' cradle. He's got a potent cradle if he ever gets that on. "45 seconds left. Got to be careful, but they are working the edge of the mat.
41 seconds, clock stops. 9-4, DeLeo. Right behind us is Chuck Tice of Toms River North, warming up.
All right, he'll go against John Kluckow from Neptune in our next match. Still 9-4 Torres. He just can't get that cradle on DeLeo. He's doing a nice job of countering Torres' moves. 10 seconds left. Mike DeLeo with a 9-4 win.
He does it.
9-5. He got an escape right at the end there. 9-5.
So we get a Toms River wrestler in a championship. There he is, Mike DeLeo of Toms River North. Congratulations, Mike. We'll take a break here and we'll be right back. Evening, we just completed our 7th. Well, of course, we go 12. So this is match number 8, and Chuck Tice, Toms River North, 20 wins, 2 defeats, 2 ties, and Ed, his opponent,
John Kluckow from Neptune at 21-3-1. Both wrestlers have fought from the outer bracket, okay? Neither wrestler was seeded. All 4 seeds are out of this one. Mike Liguori from Manalapan upset by John Kluckow in the semis. Jerry Serliglione from Point Borough was upset by Chuck Tice. Joe Tomasello from Raritan was upset by Mike Veracierta, and Kevin Mower was upset by Gluckow. So Gluckow has knocked out 2 seeds himself.
So counting this match, we have 5 left on the schedule for this evening. And in the 3rd place match tonight, you mentioned Veracierta of Toms River East. He lost to Mike Liguori of Manalapan in the 3rd place match, and that score was 10-8. Liguori, 22 wins, 1 loss on the season. Veracierta finishes 18-5-1.
Yeah, tough match for Mike, okay? He wrestled his heart out in that consolation match. Wanted that trip to Princeton, but just came out short just a little bit.
So Mike Baldi does a good job. He gets 2 wrestlers into the finals here from Toms River North, back-to-back. DeLeo's already taken 1 region championship for the Mariners. There you see his teammate, Tice.
By the way, Ken, these 2 wrestled in a dual meet earlier in the year, and they fought to a 3-3 draw. So they have seen each other before.
Again, an even matchup going in. 20 seconds to go.
And Gluckow gets the takedown, makes it 3-2 in favor of Gluckow. One of the real heavyweights in the state, Enzo Catullo from Summit, defending state champion, is in this weight class. He hasn't done a bad job so far. He's got 59 straight going into the regional tournament, so he's a real solid favorite to defend his state championship up at Princeton.
And Kevin Oliver warming up right next to us from the Lakewood Piners, our district champ at 158, and he's there with his coach John Craddock. And here we go, second period, 3-2 is the score, and Tice goes to work here, top position.
Potentially dangerous. Referee stops it. Harry Whitley.
I see a lot of green and gold banners on the wall to the far end for a new school. Brick Memorial's getting their share of
5 years old
conference championships. I see some track banners and soccer and a little bit of everything up there.
Wrestling, bowling, stalling on the bottom man, Gluckow.
Tice, a lanky kid, long legs.
Trying to turn Gluckow. Currently trailing with 1:10 to go in period number 2, 3-2. Trying to get him over on his back. He's working hard, but that bottom man's not doing too much. He's already got one stalling warning. Remember, when a wrestler is in control, he must work for the pin, and the bottom man must work to escape. Right now, I'd have to say Tice is definitely working for the pin, but Gluckow's not doing too much.
.40 seconds, second period. Out of bounds. 29 seconds. Baldi up off the bench, yelling instructions to Tice. There you see the opposite side, the other coach. There, oh, that's Mike right there. You see Mike Baldi kneeling. Cliff Adams, our cameraman right there.
Go get that
Here we
wrestler,
are.
tell him to come over here.
Cliff Adams taking that shot there of our table. Oh. We gotta get Mike DiLeo over here. Let's get him in the center here where they can get a shot of him, Ed. Mike DiLeo's coming over. Mike, come on in the center here. Congratulations. Nice job. Sit in here and we'll get some comments as we watch your teammate, Tice. 1 second. Here's the end of the second period. Still 3-2. We were just commenting, Tice's opponent not doing much in that, not trying to get out of the position there, kind of stalling. You already got one warning. What'd you think?
You just got out of the locker room, right?
Oh, you didn't get to see it? Okay. Congratulations on your win. Tell me, Mike DiLeo, what you thought about your opponent tonight and how the match went.
Here and districts, I was a lot up. Last year I kind of petered out towards the end, but this year I was ready.
How do you account for being so ready? Coach
yeah,
yourself? Or?
I have a coach that pushes me, and I want to thank him for spending a lot of time with me, and my family. It's been great, and a lot of my friend Tony DeSantis, great friend. He's always over my house wrestling with me, showing me everything he can.
Here's Mike right here. Get a shot of Mike DiLeo.
Do you wrestle with Chuck in practice? I imagine you do.
Yeah, I wrestle with Chuck in practice a lot with my friend Tony. He's always taking off from work.
Tony DeSantis graduated, right?
Yeah, he graduated 3 years ago.
Yeah, right, a couple years ago.
I'm just saying that Mike Baldi's done a great job getting the two of you here back to back, you and Tice, in the regional final.
Yeah, he really works with us hard, and he spends a lot of time, especially during the summer. He was taking a lot of time just to come in and wrestle at my house, which no, a lot of other coaches find hard to do because they're working, but he found the time.
Excuse me a second here, Mike, but there's a point awarded. Referee talking it over at the table. What about Chuck Tice's style of wrestling as opposed to yours? Similar?
He's in very good condition, and we're a little different.
He's sort of tall and lanky, huh?
Yeah, he's very tall. He's a scrapper. I mean, he'll never give up. He'll always be in there with you. He doesn't care who it is. I mean, mentally, he's one of the toughest kids I've seen. You know, he's in there against anyone. To where I can get down sometimes, but no.
Yeah, he did just get another point there. It must have been a penalty point.
So it's tied up.
So it's tied up at 3, and he deserves that because he has been the aggressor throughout this whole match, and Gluckow's just hanging on. So
yeah, he's a very aggressive kid.
Mike, this stage of the season, it's been a long season, and you just went through the districts last week, and then all this wrestling over here at Brick Memorial. How do you feel physically?
Pretty tired, and I'm glad I won, so now I have another week off.
You won't have to go up and wrestle Wednesday. So you guys work with other wrestlers now this week?
No, we stayed at our own school and worked out with the coach and a few other guys that stayed after with us that didn't make it this far, but they stayed after anyway.
Now we have the whistle blown here with 55 seconds to go. Be nice to have Tice going along with you as another regional champion.
He's a good kid, and I hope he wins.
yeah, it's always good to have somebody up there with you when you go up to Princeton.
Oh, yes.
Any opponents that you know of in the in your weight class up there?
There's I think a John Durso and a Mike Lamb from Highland, but I feel the toughest 141 pounds this year came from the shore because a lot of our wrestlers did very well up there, like Mr. Torres that I just wrestled, and Roselli won the big tournament up there, and he beat a lot of the northern kids. So I feel the toughest 41 pounders really came, some of the toughest were down here.
Did you see Lamb over at East when they wrestled?
No, I missed that match.
He is a tough kid, you're right. But I also agree with you that many of the 41 pounders in the shore could handle just about anybody in the state. I think Gluckow lost the contact.
This report just came in.
We have 39 seconds to go. It's 3-3. There you see Tice and Coach Mike Baldi in the corner as they talk it over here. And there you see the opposite side as they go over their strategy. What do you think Coach is telling Mike Mr. Tice right now, Mike?
39 seconds to go. Get out.
Bottom position.
He's at the advantage. The man on top has to hold him down, which is a lot harder. We only have 39 seconds and it's time.
Yes, he just needs the escape to win it.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Tice gets out.
There it is.
There
Didn't
it
take
is.
long.
Tice leads by 1.
Mike, were you surprised that you handled Torres fairly easy? He's a pretty strong kid.
Yeah, I work a lot on my technique, and that's what really carries me through. I believe the best way to win is to wrestle with good moves, because that's the name of the sport, wrestling.
When you get to this class of competition, strength doesn't win for you all the time.
Now you got to have technique.
17 seconds to go.
Tice in on a single leg. If he stays right there, he's got it won.
Looks like he's going to do it. 4 seconds.
We'll let you go over and congratulate your partner
Thanks
over
for
there.
coming over, Mike.
Chuck.
And
Thank you.
Good luck up at Princeton. Mike
you.
DiLeo, okay.
I think Coach Baldi's a little happy
We
there.
got another one from Tice North, 2 in a row. DiLeo and Tice will go together.
We'd like to get Chuck over too sometime, okay?
So 2 Mariners in a row are going to go to Princeton as regional champions. Look at Mike Baldi, the coach of the Mariners.
That's a
Tice.
great picture.
Good shot there by our camera crew and our director of the jubilation on the faces of the Mariners. And what a job. There's Tice is coming over to us. We're going to talk to him. Congratulations, Chuck. Thank you. Jump in here. And you hold that mic, and we'll talk to you here. Let me set up the next match here, and we'll go right to Chuck. Let him catch his breath for a minute. And right now, the awards ceremony, Mike DiLeo, who we just talked to, is going over to the awards platform. And we'll take a quick time out here. Second period, 2-1.
And helping Coach Ken is Bill Terrell. I did have it down here on my sheet. Just overlooked it.
Manalapan in the red uniforms. Lakewood, of course, the familiar blue and white.
I didn't think anybody, I was just going to say, I didn't think anybody could hold down Oliver for 2 minutes, and with 10 seconds to go, Oliver escapes to tie it up at 2.
5 seconds.
Fancy footwork there by Oliver, showed you his quickness. 2-2 going into period number 3.
There's John Craddock's on the right, wearing the dark suit, blue suit, and I don't know his assistant. I'm not familiar with John's assistant.
I guess it's a groin injury for Kevin Oliver.
Is hurting here.
He's got that knee wrapped, but it looks like they're working a little bit higher up on the groin.
We're having a little trouble getting some momentum to get through this match here.
See Darnell Myers right in front of our camera, right in front of our bench here.
Coach Paul Muller of Central standing next to us with Parks, getting ready to go in the next match for the Golden Eagles of Central. All right, looks like Oliver's ready. There's Darnell Myers on your screen. He's waiting to go. The only defending state champion we have here. He wrestled, of course, for Tom's River South last year, wrestling for the Golden Eagles of Central this year. And he's dropped from heavyweight to 188. That's a very tough chore to try to pull off, be a champion after dropping down from heavyweight, but we'll see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. 2-2. Final period, 158.
There's the 2 reversal for Lynch.
4-2.
Now he's going to try and hold on. 1:32 to go. So Tom's River will come out with 3 regional champions. It's the most they've had in a while.
Yeah, we have 2 for North and 1 for East so far. That's going to do it. And then, of course, well, I'm thinking of the local area.
Right.
We still have a chance for more here.
Oh, yeah, we could win.
For our viewing area.
We could win the, well, Darnell would have to be a heavy favorite.
Parks has a tough assignment in
Bobby Martin.
Bobby Martin, a Brick Memorial District champion.
And then Nelson has a very good shot. So I think we could come away with at least 2, possibly 3 more. Shows you the strength of our district, District 24.
1:05 left in this match. Oliver trailing by 2. Rigoletto on the right. Tony Griffa backing him up, the officials. Oliver in the down position.
Lynch, like I mentioned, just holding on. He's gonna try and hold that tight waist on Kevin Oliver. Oliver gets standing, but Lynch just a little bit too strong.
Oliver, quick move there.
Oliver reverses.
Nice move by Oliver.
Nice quickness.
Ties it up. 2-2. 2 on a reversal, 4-4. 30 seconds. We may have another overtime, Ed.
We're going OT again, unless Lynch can get out.
20 seconds. They stop out of bounds with 15 seconds to go. Oliver getting up slowly. He's hurting.
He's used most of his injury time here. He can't have too much left.
And how much timeout is he allowed for
2
injury?
minutes.
2
2 minutes, Ken. Unless, of course, it's there's something bleeding, like a bloody nose or a lip or a mouth, then he'd have unlimited time. Lynch going for the escape. He's got some back points. Yes. Oliver's going to win it, Ken. Oliver's going to win it in the
There
last
it is.
10 seconds.
Kevin Oliver pulled it out.
He got the 2 back points.
Kevin Oliver, very happy man. Wins at 6-5. Is that the correct score?
Should be 7. It should be 7-5.
Now they've wiped it off the board entirely. We'll call it 7-5.
It was 5-5, correct, and he got the 2 back points.
Have to wait for the official announcement on the final score. Oliver of Lakewood is a regional champion, and Darnell Myers shakes his hand.
Pretty happy, I have to say.
Now the awards are coming up as we get ready for 170. The awards for 148. We have at 148, Mike Liguori of Manalapan, 3rd place, John Glukow, Neptune, runner-up, and Chuck Tice, Toms River North, on the winner's platform. And here we go with Bob Martin, who we interviewed after the districts last week on the right and the green as the district champion, and also voted by the coach as the most outstanding wrestler in District 24 tournament last week. And he's going against Central Regional's Brad Parks. And Ed, you want to mention the records of these 2 wrestlers?
All right, Bobby Martin is undefeated at 26-0. Relatively untested all year until this afternoon semifinals when he had a very close 5-1 decision. I say close because it was 3-1 until the very last few seconds. So Martin went the distance in a pressure bout this afternoon against Curran from Wall, while Parks has fought his way from the outer bracket, defeating Sean Ennis from Raritan. Then he beat Rodney Watkins, who was number 2 seeded from Long Branch. He beat Rodney Watkins 2-1 in the quarterfinals, and then he defeated Eric Wideneck from Lakewood 14-8 in the semis this afternoon.
Well, we asked Martin last week on Channel 8 what he was looking for in the regionals, and he mentioned Curran of Wall.
Yes, he did. He mentioned Curran.
Was that a good one to watch?
Excellent match. Like I said, it's the most challenging match he's had all year. Before that, he had a 9-3 match with Desmond Hussey from Toms River East, and that was the closest anybody's been to him. He's been winning matches 20-2, 19-4, and to go along with his pins. So he's had it relatively easy.
Curran took 3rd place with a narrow win over Eric Wideneck of Lakewood in the consolation, 3-2. Wideneck finished up 8 wins, 10 losses. Curran now 23 wins, 4 losses, and a tie as he goes to Princeton. Parks, of course, has a younger brother that wrestles for Central. It's a freshman.
Right, he did a nice job in the tournament, Ken. Like you mentioned, he's only a freshman. He did win his first match, so he got a taste of victory, and then got beat by one of our finalists tonight, Jim Jordan from Central Regional.
You know, they're having 2 rounds Wednesday night or just 1? 1? So I won't have to weigh in until next Friday?
We're talking to Tony Mangione, the region champ of the East over here. His voice you heard.
Ken, we got Ron Brooks over here who sang the national anthem.
Yeah, you might want to find out how he developed that singing ability.
Ron, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Congratulations on another fine job on the national anthem.
Thank you very much. I was very pleased at the fact that they let me sing here at Brick tonight. I have been singing for the last 15 years, since I was a real little guy. It started out when I was yelling when I was a little guy. I used to yell all the time, and then I put words to it.
Well, we yell a lot, but we can't sing like you can, Ron.
It's really a pleasure, you know. Even with the Brick school systems, I'm in the honors course at Brick Township High School this year.
Excellent. Well, we mentioned last week that if Mr. Rayo here, who's the tournament director, didn't sign you up right away for the regional tournament after the job you did at Toms River East in the district, that he was crazy, and he jumped right on you, and I'm glad you got another chance to sing it in front of about 2,000 people tonight.
Oh, that's only 2,000? Oh, well.
Hey, Ron, you going to take up a musical career in college?
Well, right now, I'm going to continue singing. I'm also planning to be a radio disc jockey. I was a radio disc jockey for the Brick Township area and the WBGD 91.9.
High school station?
Yes.
Okay.
But I will continue to sing. We're planning on going to Villanova University next year, home of the Fighting Wildcats.
All right.
And I lived in Villanova for a long time, so I know a lot of the people out there.
Villanova has a pretty good basketball team, and they're also coming back in football. They're getting some good recruits. They dropped the football program, they're bringing it back.
I know somebody up there that has to do with that program, and there's a good possibility, if everything goes well, I might be able to sing there too.
Okay.
Great.
Well,
Good luck to you.
We want to thank you for singing over at Tom's River East last week, and again tonight. We enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
I want to thank everybody that has been involved with the New Jersey wrestling down here in the area, the Shore area. They've been very, very supportive of me through my wrestling, because I also wrestled at Brick too.
Right.
And if it hadn't been for them, I don't think we would have gotten this far. So I thank them, and I thank you for letting me be here and have an opportunity for this interview.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Ron Brooks, who signed the national anthem prior to the start of tonight's matches from Brick High School's wrestling team, and right now it's 2-0 with 1:10 to go in the second period, and we just saw Paul Muller.
Gentleman.
Yes.
Ken.
We just saw Paul Muller, the coach of Central, who's going to be coaching in this match and then the next one coming up, as he has 2 Golden Eagles going here. And there you see Parks in the top position.
Okay, Martin, 3-0 Martin. 1:07 left in period number 2.
Martin, a very methodical wrestler, very strong. Doesn't make a mistake very often.
Most people believe that Bob is a defensive wrestler, not really a pinner, piles up the points, gets a lot of tilts, and of course very strong, but counters every move. He's a counter type wrestler.
And they feel he's a lot like last year's standout
Billy Scott.
Bill Scott, who wrestled 170 last year.
Same weight class, yes. He's taken over in that same weight class.
44 seconds to go in the final period. Martin 4-0. Martin just ran away in the final last week. I think it was
17-0, yes, over Wideneck from Lakewood. We mentioned he was the MVP in the districts.
20 seconds. Still 4-0 Martin. Parks hanging in there.
Parks' outstanding record, 24-2, Ken. One loss, he got pinned by Robbie Connors, and you know how good he is. And of course lost last week in an upset.
His brother, I believe it's Matt, is
Parks,
quite a wrestler as a freshman for the Golden Eagles at
heavyweight.
188 or heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
8 seconds to go. Mike Wiedenbush, former state champion for Toms River South, assistant coach of Central in the corner with Paul Muller. Wiedenbush was a state champion along with Jeff Parker and Frank Majors, all in the same year for John DeMarco's Toms River South Indians, now coaching at Central Regional. There you see Caravella and DeAndrea Brick Memorial.
Going for their 3rd champion tonight.
Good shot of Parks on the left of Central.
Parks a senior, Martin only a junior. He'll be back for another year. Probably move up to the 188-pound weight class next year. Be very surprised if he could hold his weight at 70.
Parks talking to his coach before he got up. He was right next to Paul Muller and had a chance to ask him a question.
Parks, as we mentioned before, beat Rodney Watkins in the quarterfinals last night in a match, Ken, that must have taken probably about 25 or 30 minutes. They wrestled most of the time on the outside of the mat.
I thought maybe they took a break for dinner.
No, there were no breaks. They just wrestled, and then there was injury time on the part of Watkins, and the fans were into it. They were yelling and screaming. And Parks eked out a 2-1 victory.
Don't forget to be with us Saturday night on Channel 8, 8 o'clock for the CYO Championship basketball game in Ocean County and our all-star team from the high school ranks and the awards they will receive from Channel 8. Two more matches after this one, then we'll be done here.
4-0, 57 seconds left. Period number 3. Martin pretty much in control. Parks having a tough time trying to do anything against the strength of Bobby Martin and the defensive tactics of Bob Martin. Yeah, we're here.
We're kind of working on some notes here back and forth here on our local wrestlers.
4-0, Bobby Martin, 31 seconds left.
Darnell Myers loosening up, getting ready to go in the next one.
Oh, there's the cradle, Bobby Martin. Picking up some back points now. He'll get 2 out of this. That'll make it 6-0, Martin. 15 seconds left. Bobby Martin will become Brick Memorial's 3rd regional champion.
7 seconds. Fans applauding Martin, the local product here. That's it. So,
picked up 1 on the escape, so he'll get it. He'll make it 6-1.
So Martin takes it and we'll have to take time out. Darnell Myers on the right, defending state champion, and when he won it last year, he was at heavyweight. Now he's moved back to 188. He's wrestling for Central Regional, and his opponent, Ed?
Mitch Turk from Manalapan, another one of Manalapan's big, outstanding upper weight class boys here. Turk 22-4, Myers 19-0.
You said Darnell doesn't waste much time over here in Brick.
He's got the quickest pin of the tournament so far. 18 seconds. He took care of Dan Transu from Point Pleasant Borough in the quarterfinals last night.
Mitch Turk was sitting behind us during the consolation round. He asked us when this telecast was going to be on the air. He wanted to watch it, and
we told him it wasn't going to be in Manalapan. He said,
I'll
find
a friend in Tom's River. And I don't know if wrestling Darnell, if I'd want to watch it. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know, Turk, again, the name Robbie Connors comes up. Turk lost to Connors twice this year. 5-4, very close match. And, of course, Darnell beat Connors
in his toughest match.
9-7, right. And then he got pinned by Connors. And he also lost to Desmond Hussey from Tom's River East.
Wow.
Oh, there's a pancake. And he got hurt. Mitch is stunned. Turk got stunned, but I don't think there was any problem with that. I don't think that was a... Now, the Manalapan coaches...
He hit the mat hard, but it wasn't the case where he slammed them.
The Manalapan coaches are talking it over with the referees. The referees walked over. I do not think they are calling it a slam. I don't know, but it's a tough decision. You know, Ken, that if it is a slam and he can't wrestle, Myers would have to default.
That's right, he would lose.
He would lose. And I do not think it was a slam. I think they're saying...
Well, let's wait.
It's going to be an unpopular call, no matter who it goes against. But right now, it looks like it's going against Myers, the way Myers is acting in the corner.
I'll have to see how Turk is going to be. George Rayo, director of the tournament, is out on the mat in the white shirt, leaning over.
That's 1 minute buzzer. Now there's only 1 point up on the scoreboard. Now,
there you see
if
Darnell.
anything, it should be 2 points.
It'd be a heck of a way for him to be stopped here on a forfeit. They're still working on Turk. There you see Paul Muller, the coach of the Golden Eagles of Central, in the white sweater, and Mike Wiedenbush, his assistant, the former Toms River South State champion, in the maroon shirt. And they were talking to Harry Whitley, the official. What do you think, Ed? Well, there you see Darnell. He's got to be concerned.
It's hard to say, Ken. To me, it did not look like a slam. It looked like his...
I didn't think it was.
I don't know really exactly what the...
I think he stunned him and how quick he took him down.
Right.
And he hit the mat hard, but he wasn't slammed to the mat, in my opinion.
One thing I do know, I don't think Mitch Turk is going to wrestle anymore. But now it's just going to be...
Now who decides this? The official decides whether it's a
decide
slam or
whether
not?
it was the slam or not.
So it's up to Harry Whitley. Was he the? I didn't notice who the official was.
Harry
in charge
Whitley
when they
was,
started.
that's
who Muller was talking to.
Right, and Ed Glassheim are the 2 officials.
So it's up to Harry Whitley. He's talking to Ron Grigoletto. They may be exchanging opinions on it.
All 4 officials are involved in this one.
Well, they're going to help. Well, they're still working on the wrestler from Manalapan.
Dave Solt working on him. Not much movement. He is conscious and breathing. Doesn't look like there's any breathing difficulties. He was stunned though.
Well, we just got to sit here and wait and see what they're going to decide to do.
I think Myers has got a default, Ken. I think Harry Whitley just walked over and told him he's not happy about it, but not a good way to end the undefeated record for Myers.
It's going to go to Mitch Turk on a default.
Well, it's an unpopular decision, to say the least.
You see Darnell leaving, and here's a state champion.
Darnell just stormed off the mat
on a default. Now Darnell can still come back in the regionals now, right?
Right.
This won't affect his status of going to Princeton.
He'll go into Wednesday night's
he'll have to wrestle Wednesday
outside
now.
bracket in the preliminaries as a second place
Just
winner.
makes it a little tougher for Darnell. And they're still they still haven't gotten Turk off the mat yet.
Yeah, he's sitting in an up position now. Of course, it's not his fault. The booing was not directed at Mitch Turk. I think it was more so directed at the ruling. And of course, it is a judgment ruling. In the judgment of the officials, it was determined to be a slam.
He's up now. All right, we take a break here. We'll be right back. Gordon Nelson, Monsignor Donovan High School in Toms River on the left, in the blue.
Okay, Ken, we're going to have Ed Glassheim come over to our table here, and we'll get the official word on exactly what happened.
What happened was...
Ed, wait a minute. Let me get the mic over to you. We got the official right here. Ed
Glassheim.
Okay, what I was saying to the coach over here was that no matter, under any circumstances, okay, the offensive man picked his man up, brought him down to the mat. You have to have control at all times. It makes no difference whether inbounds or out of bounds. It made no difference, okay? It came down very forcefully. It was unintentional. I know that. It's something I don't want to see. I hate to see a match end that way, but that's the way it went. And he loses on a disqualification.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That sums it up.
That is right from the referees.
Who made the call.
Who made the decision. And they said it was not intentional, which we know it wasn't. No doubt. Darnell wasn't trying to hurt him or slam him to the mat.
Okay, Ken, let's get to the heavyweight now. Our last bout tonight, Gordon Nelson.
Gordon Nelson of Donovan, 21-2, and his opponent?
Jim Jordan from Cedar Ridge, a winner over Tim Ryu in the semifinals, and also beat Matt Parks earlier in the quarterfinals. So Jordan comes in 21-3, a junior.
And third place in heavyweight was probably, for a consolation match, was certainly the most hard fought. It was Dan McGinnis of Manalapan in overtime over Tim Ryu. of Toms River East, the score was 2-1. Ryu finished 25-5 on the season. McGinnis 22-2 as he goes to Princeton. So that kind of, when you see something like that happen, it kind of takes all the air out of the balloon, so to speak.
Exactly, okay.
Seeing,
and again, we mentioned that Myers still can come back and defend his state championship. It's just that he'll have another, he will not get a seed, and he will have to wrestle Wednesday night.
you know, looking at Darnell, maybe going up there and not in the wrestle Wednesday night might be good because he hasn't had that many tough matches over the course of the season.
The only way this will hurt him, Ken, is that he will draw one of the top wrestlers. And,
right away.
We didn't have much time to talk about them, but there are 3 or 4 kids in Darnell's weight class this year that are undefeated and have quite impressive records. I can mention in the beginning of this match, I'll mention a couple of. Mike Gibbons from Belleville, 26-0. His name has been all over the North Jersey papers. Glenn Pazinko of East Brunswick is 31-0 with 28 pins. Jeff Worthmuller from Bridgewater Raritan East was 4th in the state last year at 188. He's 20-0 this year. Worthmuller, if everything goes as scheduled, should meet Pazinko in the finals of their regions, probably going on right about now as we speak. So one of them will get knocked out, but that's the problem Darnell will have to face now. He'll have to face one of those upper-seeded wrestlers now. Instead of meeting him later on in the quarters, the semis, or in the finals, he's going to have to wrestle him probably in the quarterfinals.
All right, we have the end of the first period right here, and we had no score. Gordon Nelson, of course, put on a good match last week in the district championship, beating Ryu and pinned him. So he's a strong guy. He's not only big, but a lot of strength. You get these heavyweights, a lot of them, once you get on their back, it's hard to get up.
Right.
Being so big.
Being so big, they just can't fight from the bottom position.
I don't think, we haven't had the awards with all of what happened there, did we? For 188, maybe a problem.
Well,
the 3 of them
we should have had the 170, Ken. I think we had the 171. If you want to review them real quick.
Yeah, 170 was
Bobby Martin, right?
Bobby Martin, the champion. Brad Parks, Central Regional runner-up, and Tom Curran of Wall, 3rd place.
Right. We'll have the 188. That should be interesting to see what happens up there on the award ceremony. I hope Darnell plays it cool.
Comes back out.
And comes back out because he did storm into the locker room.
Sunday night at 8 o'clock and again Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
So we have 1:38 to go here in the second period. We still don't have a point on the board.
Here's the
there you see the coaches
Cedar Ridge, Jeff Bandola from Cedar Ridge.
Is that his name?
Yes, it is.
Head coach.
Nelson with the reversal. Say Nelson goes about 255 and Jordan about 240. Jordan came in strong there with his head, hit Nelson in the chest.
Rigoletto, the official, talking to Harry Whitley.
Okay, now Whitley is warning Jordan.
Bob Termolen is the Griffin coach of Donovan, and Mike Schuld is his assistant. Mike Schuld, the head football coach of Donovan, succeeding Bob Termolen. Termolen wanting a little more time to spend with his family, so Mike Schuld took over the football, but Termolen continues as head wrestling coach.
Okay, now what happened there was no penalty points were awarded. He was given a point for an escape, Jordan, and was warned, spoken to by the officials, but no penalty points were involved there. Nice move by Nelson, and this could be it, Ken.
Yep, he could get a pin here.
This could be
It's gonna
it.
be tough for his opponent to get out of this one. Second period, plenty of time, 53
I think it's
seconds.
over, Nelson.
I think Nelson's gonna get it.
There it is.
No, Gordon Nelson does it for Monsignor Donovan.
3 minutes, 13 seconds.
And he's our regional champion, again from Toms River. And we want to get him on a post-match show. And we're kind of run long tonight, so we're going to take a break right away. And then we'll try to get Gordon on as we wrap it up on the post-match show. Don't go away.